Here's 2 movements to help us gain strength and mobility in our lower body and upper. Let's get into it. First movement is going to be a dumbbell deadlift. We're going to grab a pair of dumbbells that will challenge us for about 8 to 10 repetitions. We're going to place our feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knee, and we're going to glue the dumbbells at our side. We want the dumbbells to stay next to us the entire time because we want that center of gravity to be the most efficient. Slight bend in the knee. And now for a deadlift, it's a hip dominant movement pattern, meaning we move from the hips first. Hips go back. Once you've reached about parallel to the floor with your chest or your end range of motion, it could look here, could look right here, or it could be all the way down here. Then we're going to bend the knees to help us get the rest of the way. And then you extend your knees, and then you come back with your hips like that. So the form and technique for the deadlift is hips, knees, knees, hips. Inhale through the nose. Notice the dumbbells stay at my side the whole time. You see, if I were to forget about putting it at my side, it would drag me forward, and that would pull on my lower back. We don't want that. We want that center of gravity here at the midline, here in the center of the body. Hands at about in line with the ankle bone. Hips, knees, knees, and exhale. Hips, knees, knees, hips. This hip dominant pattern, this deadlift is so important to get strong at. As we get stronger with this, our mobility is naturally going to increase, a very functional movement. We want the ability to be able to hinge from our hips and be willing to choose to hinge from our hips at any point in time all throughout the day. Bending over around the house, doing chores, yard work, picking up a couch. It's so important, it's so functional to have this ability to hinge from the hips, because as I use the hips and glutes, that's where all the brunt force is going into. I'm taking it away from my low back, lessening the chances that I throw my back out over time, strengthening, using my core, the hips, the muscles, a full body movement pattern to avoid back pain, to avoid unnecessary bending at my waist like that hurts and can throw out my back. Ouch. That puts a lot of pressure into the discs. So, hip hinging, so important. Slight bend in the knee, hips go back, and then for the deadlift, we come down, bend the knees, and then we come back up. Don't have dumbbells? You can go body weight as well. Just remember the hips, the knees, the hips. That's the form and technique. We're going to go for about 8 to 10 repetitions. That 8 to 10th rep, it should feel like a challenge, like a little bit of burning. All right. Feel that throughout the hips. You're going to feel a little bit in the lower back, but not a bad feeling. It's just like your lower back muscles are working. But really, we want to feel that more into the glutes, hamstrings, back of the legs. Okay. So we're going to go for about 8 to 10 repetitions. Okay. Follow along. Here we go. Grab your weights or go body weight. Slight bend in the knee. Inhale through the nose. Hips, knees, knees, hips. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. So you're at 8. I think you got 2 more in you. Let's push it. 9. And 10. Good. So about 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest. Breathe. When we're training strength and mobility, we want to give ourselves adequate rest. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose or exhale through the mouth. Whatever feels right for you. Just make sure you get that inhale through the nose. We want to calm the body down, rest and recover, so we're best prepared to start the second movement. Because when training strength and mobility, we want the ability to take each set to our maximum intensity And if I go too fast into the next movement, there's something called systemic fatigue. My body's going to be tired still from this first movement. And so my next movement's going to be hindered a little bit. I'm not going to have that true baseline strength to go to spring from. And when getting strong and gaining mobility, we need progressive overload. We need to make sure we're beating our record. We need to make sure we're beating our strength record this week. If I do 10 pounds, I want to make sure I'm doing 15 pounds next week. So we want to make sure all the variables are the same. We're resting for an adequate time, breathing, and then going into the next movement. Okay, so that was the first movement, dumbbell deadlift. Now we're going to go into a half kneeling overhead press. Okay, so for this movement, we're just going to take a single dumbbell. We're going to come into this half kneeling position. Okay, toes tucked behind me. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to squeeze my butt so my posture is aligned and straight, staying sturdy and rigid. Okay, so squeeze the hips, squeeze the butt, press the knee into the ground. Okay, we're going to grab that dumbbell and then place one fist out to the side to balance my body out. We're going to bring that dumbbell right about here, not too far in, not too far out, right about here. Okay, inhale through the nose, and we're going to press up and away. And so notice my arm. My palm right now is facing inward. As I push up, I rotate slightly, and now my palm is facing forward. So I'm getting that natural rotation of the rotator cuff. Very functional for the shoulder and arm. Inhale, exhale, punch. Inhale, squeeze the butt. Exhale, punch. Inhale, exhale, punch. Inhale, exhale, punch. Okay, we're gonna go for about 8 to 10 repetitions per side. Okay, once again, this overhead pattern is gaining strength, gaining mobility into that shoulder, allowing myself to get my arms up overhead, which is a very, very functional movement pattern that we want to be able to keep throughout the years. So, get into your position. Now, ideally, we have a weight for this movement. Okay, so if you have some dumbbells collecting dust bunnies, now's the time to grab them. Okay. And now, if you're only able, let's say, to press your arm this far forward, well, that's okay to do for now. Just do it light with a light dumbbell. Okay. If you don't have the mobility to go back, then we're going to have to do some extra mobility work for you, and that's something that you can find inside the Embody app in the App Store, soon coming. Okay, but for the sake of this video, let's keep it simple and do that overhead press. Squeeze the butt. Okay, exhale fully. Get your ribs to come down. Tall posture, fists out to the side, and then, okay, we're going to go for 8 to 10. Here we go. And 2, 3, 4, inhale, exhale, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Okay, rest in between before going to the next side, because once again, we want to be prepared and ready. When we're training one side at a time, it's critical to make sure you're resting in between. So like we talked about before, you have the max amount of intensity and power and strength left for that set. Now, the cool thing about training one side at a time is it's putting new and unique demands on the body. If I only have one weight in one side, that's going to challenge some of my anti-rotational capacity. So it's challenging new ways to fire the core. Very functional and a great way to progress ourselves. If you're used to maybe doing 2 at a time, try one side at a time. And you might notice you're actually a little bit stronger when going one arm at a time because you can put more of your focus in one side. So these are cool ways to experiment with your training. Okay, I feel like I'm prepared and ready. We're going to go into the second set. Here we go. Inhale, fist out to the side, stabilize your body, squeeze the butt, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Rest. If you feel like one side is stronger than the other, it's totally normal. It happens. Prioritize that side that feels a little bit weaker by doing that first in the set, and then it'll get better over time. If you can only do 8 on the left arm, but you can do 10 on the right arm, then try stopping at 8 on the right arm. Make sure each side is even until they both come up a bit, okay? Good. Rest about 30 to 90 seconds, and then we're gonna make our way into the deadlift for round 2. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 to 3 rounds back to back of a lower body and an upper body movement pattern. It's great to stack these back to back because it's different parts of my body. So my legs are gonna be really strong and ready and prepared when I go back to the deadlift. If I were to do a deadlift with a lunge, 2 lower body movements, I would just need to rest a little bit longer. And I would probably avoid doing that though for the time being unless I'm extremely advanced. Alrighty? So I'm going to do this with you. We're going to follow along and we're going to complete this set. 2 to 3 rounds, 8 to 10 reps each. Ready? Here we go. We're starting round 2 of the deadlift. Inhale. Hinge. Here we go. And 1. Make sure to breathe. 2. Good job. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay. 8 to 10. If 8 to 10 feels way too easy, then I invite you to invest in a couple heavier dumbbells for yourself, or ensure you're taking it a little bit slower. Focus on proper form and technique. Okay, rest. Make sure to get adequate rest. This is sometimes the hardest part for people who are used to doing high intensity stuff. You don't have to be out of breath just to say you got a good workout in. Okay, you want to be methodical, meticulous. Strength training is about pacing yourself. Okay, let's go into the overhead position. Okay, squeeze the butt, fist out to the side, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale. 5. Good. 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest. You're doing great. Shake it off. Eight to 10 is a great place to start, because then next week we can do 10 to 12, then 12 to 15, and then 15 to 20. Once we can do about 3 rounds of 20 repetitions each side, then we can go back down to 8, but then go up in weight. This is a way to progress yourself that I found to be very successful with my clients. Okay, let's go to the other side. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Once again, make sure you're pushing. If 8 is like really easy, then go for 10. We want the last couple reps to feel like a little bit of a struggle, okay? But don't break form. If it's too much and you're breaking form, then don't push that hard. Stop a couple reps shorter. Good. Rest. Okay, we finished 2 rounds. So if you feel like that's it for yourself, stop here. If you want to try one more round, then we're going to jump back into the deadlift, and then we're going to end this video with a little bit more instruction and tutorial about these movements. Okay, rest, breathe. Okay, last round for the dumbbell deadlift. Slight bend in the knee, shoulder width apart with the feet. Dumbbells stay glued to the side, palms facing inward, neutral grip. Okay, good posture. Exhale. Get your rib cage and your abs to come in a little bit. Big inhale. If you need more help with how to properly breathe, I will make a video on core and respiration. Inhale, hinge the butt back, and here we go. Four, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you want to get a couple more, you can go to 10. Good. Breathe and rest. How'd that feel? You don't necessarily need to feel it anywhere in particular. We just want to feel like we're being worked. Full body movement, heart rate's up, legs are being worked, glutes, but really a full body movement. No pain that it feels bad in the back or anything like that. Breathe. Good. Okay, we're gonna make our way into the final set here for our shoulders. Okay. Good form and technique. Squeeze the butt. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, or you can keep going to 10. Good. Where do you feel that one? You feel that in the shoulder a little bit? Good. A little bit in the neck? If it's just a little bit, that's okay. We don't want to feel too much in the neck. That'll get better with time and strength, and as you get better with the form. Just know that is a shoulder press, so, feel that in the shoulders. Feel that in the shoulders, but also we're stabilizing using that half kneeling position, squeezing the butt. So you're going to feel your core turning on. Remember, it's one arm at a time, so it's going to be tackling some anti-rotation, anti-lateral flexion. So you're demanding more from your core. So full body movement, once again, you're going to feel that heart rate come up. You're doing all the right things. Good. Let's go into the next and final set. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Great work. There you have it. 2 movements to get strong and increase mobility in the lower body and the upper body using a deadlift pattern and an overhead pattern. So we're doing a hinge and a push, 2 foundational movement patterns that all human beings want to be able to train and keep as we age and as we evolve over the years. It's so important to be able to hinge properly from the waist to avoid any back pain. It's so important to be able to press and get our arms up overhead so we can do functional things and live a high quality of life. We use strength training with about 8 to 10 repetitions with about 30 to 90 second or slightly less rest period somewhere in there. And this is a great baseline to start from, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You can choose the right type of weight that will challenge you and your unique body. And like I said, I mentioned some different types of form and techniques that you can, experiment with in terms of where the arm is going to be, in terms of where your chest is going to be in relation to the rest of your body on the deadlift, right? Because we can all start, no matter where you are, at any stage and any age of the journey, we can start at a baseline level, stay there, and then we work our way up week after week. And these types of I shouldn't say easy, but these types of simple routines can be found inside of the Embodied Training app if you want to train with me. That is coming to the App Store very soon. At the time of this video, it's not released yet, but always make sure to check my page and profile, because maybe it's released by the time you're watching this video. You can train with me with programs and routines. I'll help you with form and technique so you can move, feel, and perform your best at any age or stage. This is Coach Eli. I'm a decade-long personal trainer, and I'm excited for you to move and groove with me. Try this routine out. You can try it, for the next couple weeks or for the next month. Do 8 to 10 reps and then go up to 10 to 12. Then 12 to 15, 15 to 20. Go back down to 8, then go up in weight. That's how you can keep progressing yourself and getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's how you build muscle. That's how you see that definition, that toned look, which actually just means building muscle. No, you're not going to get bulky. Yes, you're going to get flexible and strong, the two things that we want, by training these full ranges of motion and these crucial and critical movement patterns for full body strength, core, coordination, and balance. Okay, leave a couple days in between for some rest, but you could try this routine twice a week if you wanted to. It depends on what the rest of that week looks like for you and your training. All right, but this is a great strength training routine, and it's a great complement to also some mobility routines, and you can find more of those on my page. Get yourself into a good movement routine, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how it feels. Follow for more.